Have you ever wondered what the first game was like? Or did you know that one man died during the longest gaming session? Now we dive into the pixelated world of gaming to tell you interesting facts about video games. If you are interested in this topic, enjoy watching it. The history of video games spans a period of time between the invention of the first electronic games and today, covering many inventions and developments. Video gaming reached mainstream popularity in the 1970s and 1980s, when arcade video games, gaming consoles, and home computer games were introduced to the general public. Since then, video gaming has become a popular form of entertainment and a part of modern culture in most parts of the world. The first computer game is generally assumed to be the game Spacewar. Developed in 1962 at MIT, Stephen Russell, AO. Spacewar originally ran on a PDP-1 computer the size of a large car. By today's standards, the graphics are rather primitive, although less primitive than many games from the 1980s. The game as such is not bad. 2 players each control a spaceship circling a planet. The players can shoot each other, turn their ships, and accelerate. The goal is, naturally, to hit the other player before being hit yourself. Super Mario wasn't always called Mario. In the original Donkey Kong game produced in 1981, Donkey Kong is battling a recognizable character called Jumpman. It was only years later that Jumpman would become the well-known Italian plumber, Mario. Mario was originally a carpenter, not a plumber. Before Mario was dodging sewer creatures, he was dodging barrels thrown by a giant ape. In Donkey Kong, Mario was a carpenter, not a plumber. The switch to plumbing was probably a career upgrade, considering he went from fighting apes to rescuing princesses. Can you speak Sims? The Sims language is derived from real languages. It is called Simlish and combines Ukrainian, French, Latin, Finnish, English, Fijian, Cebuano, and Tagalog. Game developers opted to use inflections and tones in the language to portray a character's feelings and emotions. The longest gaming session led to a man's death. A Taiwanese man decided to play World of Warcraft for 24 hours straight and ended up dead. The cause? A blood clot from sitting too long. Action video games can improve your vision. Contrary to your mom's warnings, video games won't make you go blind. In fact, action games can improve your vision. Studies have shown that these games can enhance spatial resolution, making gamers better at distinguishing between different shades of color. Take that, Mom! Grand Theft Auto 5 became the most expensive game ever created, with a budget of $265 million. Grand Theft Auto 5 has become a Hollywood blockbuster in the gaming world. And, as befits a blockbuster, it grossed over $1 billion in just 3 days after its release in 2013. Crime does pay, at least in the virtual world. Modern games have already started to rival that amount. But for that era, that kind of game development push was insane. About $336 million in 2024. The most expensive virtual item. In the game Entropia universe, a virtual asteroid was sold for $2.5 million in real-world money, making it one of the most expensive virtual items ever sold. Nearly half of all gamers are female. Contrary to the basement-dwelling male stereotype, nearly half of all gamers are female. Women are not only avid gamers, but are also making their mark in game development and esports. So, the next time someone says gaming is a guy thing, you can tell them to level up their knowledge. The exact stat is almost evenly split, with 53% of video game players identifying as male and 46% as female. But let's dug deeper into the diversity of the gaming universe with some revealing statistics. Did you know that 62% of adults over 18 are hitting those gamepads and keyboards? Even more fascinating is that a whopping 76% of kids under 18 are immersed in virtual worlds. It's not just the kids and young adults. The average age of a video game player today is 32. That's right, gaming is not confined to any one age group. The background noises in Silent Hill, too, were randomized to keep players on the edge of their seats. In many games, having a keen ear and picking out sounds can mean the difference between life and death. The developers of Silent Hill too found that by randomizing the order and timing that sounds like footsteps, breathing, the shattering of glass, and even pig squeals, players were kept on edge and were unable to predict what might come next. From a development point of view, this method was an absolute genius move. The name Atari means success in the game. Go Atari wasn't just a cool-sounding name, it means success in the game Go. The company was a pioneer in the arcade and home console market. But let's face it, they've seen better days. Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time, with over 300 million copies sold. Minecraft takes the crown as the best-selling video game ever. It's the digital Lego of our generation, and it's probably responsible for more procrastination than any other game. The Legend of Zelda was inspired by its creator's childhood. Shigeru Miyamoto, the genius behind The Legend of Zelda, drew inspiration from his childhood experiences of exploring caves and fields. The game was a way to recreate that sense of adventure and discovery. Who knew getting lost as a kid could be so profitable? Doom was so popular, it was installed on more computers than Windows 95. When Doom was released, it became so popular that it was installed on more computers than Windows 95. Bill Gates even considered buying the company that made it. Now that's what you call game domination. Most gamers prefer to play on mobile platforms. Recent research has revealed some surprising preferences when it comes to favorite consoles. The majority of gamers, about 64%, prefer to play on their phones. This is probably due to the convenience of always having a phone at arm's length. Consoles come in second place, with just over half of gamers using one. About 54% use platforms such as Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch. PCs and laptops get the attention of about 45% of gamers. These people want speed and power. Tablet gamers make up 24% of gamers in 2024, and they prefer casual games. Finally, virtual reality headsets, still in their infancy, attract only 10% of gamers. To summarize a bit, 58% of all gamers are not tied to one console or game type and regularly use multiple platforms. What do you prefer? Write in the comments. Everyone is playing Fortnite. Fortnite has more than 200 million accounts. Some parents are paying tutors £20 per hour to help their child get better at Fortnite. The initial designs for the little sisters in BioShock were absolutely horrifying. Originally referred to by the game studio as gatherers, the purpose of Little Sisters was to harvest a rare chemical called Adam from the corpses you see strewn around the place. Some of the first concepts for BioShock's gatherers were equally horrifying. For example, there was what appeared to be a Doberman in a wheelchair and a frog that had some sort of funnel sticking out of its butt. Fortunately, the game studio decided to go with downright creepy-looking little girls to make the players sympathize with them. We hope you enjoyed our today's selection of facts. Share your favorite game in the comments. See you soon!